Hello everybody. Today we're going to talk about simple data types in Python. You're going to need to know all these data types in order to use Python. So we're going to start out with, and if you don't know what I'm talking about to begin with, you just follow along and you can type in this stuff as we go, and eventually you'll get it. It could be a while before you really grasp the whole concept of programming in Python. But eventually, if you just kind of fake it till you make it, you'll get it eventually. Alright, so the first data type that we're going to go over is a string. And a string is a collection of characters surrounded by either a single or double quotes. And it could be single or double. This one's got double, but if you wanted to put a double quote inside of this, like if we put one right here, then you wouldn't be able to do that, because then Python thinks that your string started at this quote and ended at that one and then started back up again at the end here. So, but if you put just a single quote there, then it doesn't do that. So depending on what, if you have quotes or not inside of the string that you want to make, you'll have to change the quotes surrounding the string accordingly. Alright, and the next data type is an integer. An integer is going to be a whole number that doesn't have a decimal point in it. And then a float is going to be a number that does have a decimal point in it. Alright, and then there's going to be a Boolean data type, which is either true or false. And it's important to note that in order for Python to know that this is a Boolean, the first letter has to be capitalized of either true or false. And you can't use both of them at the same time. Like normally it would just be either true or false and your Boolean. And then now comes the most important one to know, is a variable. Now in order to use any of these data types, you have to have a way to transport that data, a container to put that data in to be able to use it. And that's where a variable comes in. Right here I have this variable is equal to 0. So 0 is this, the information held in this variable right here. Now you don't have to name it variable. I just did that so you could see that it was a variable, but you could name this anything you wanted. You could name it age. So age is equal to 0, or time, anything like that. We'll leave it as a variable just for the purposes of this video. Now, in order to use any of these, you're going to need, to set it up as a variable, or you could also use the print function. So up here we used print function, and then we put a string in there that said hello world, and whenever we run this, it'll show up down here, that string hello world. Now if we wanted to use this integer, we either had to assign it to a variable, or we could just print it. And then we'll put a comma over here. And now we can run this and it'll print 95 as well. And we can do the same for all of these. Alright, now we got the print function around all of these, and now we can print all of these. Now if you notice, when we print them, if we put the print function around, whatever we put in the parentheses is what it's going to print. And in order to print a variable, you're going to want to print the name of this variable inside these parentheses here. So if we wanted to print that variable, we would just press print, and then we'd put the name of the variable, which in this case happens to be variable. And then now if we run it, it prints that variable, which is 0 right there. Python is really simple, and it's really good at knowing what you want to do. So if you want to print, and then you can even put numbers in here. You could even put code that needs to run inside of this parentheses here, and you could put like 6 plus 7 and then print that out, and it'll print out the the answer to 6 plus 7. It doesn't just print 6 plus 7 because it knows that these are numbers. Or if you wanted to, you could make another variable. Let's put another variable here. We'll just call it variable 2. And then we'll put variable 2 as 45. How about that? Now, if we want, we can print. Now we'll print variable 2. Oh, if I can spell right. We'll put variable 1. Well, actually, it's only just variable, but plus variable 2, and then we'll print that, and it adds it up, even though, because this is just a container for this information right here. So variable is just a a container for 0, and then variable 2 is just a container for 45. And now we can name these anything we want. This name for this variable, it only points to this data and information or memory here. So it points to 45. Alright, so that's all we have for simple data types. Next video we'll go over complex data types like lists and dictionaries and tuples. But for this video, this is the very beginning. I just wanted you to see what the different data types are, so that way we could go through and you would know what each thing was whenever we worked on it later on. Alright, if you like this kind of content, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel, and you'll see future content that's similar to it. Alright, until next time.